Yes, there's fragrance. Don't come after me. I am not scared of fragrance.
Today we are reacting to a dermatologist's nighttime skincare routine, and Dr. Shereene Idriss is actually someone that I follow on Instagram. I'm obsessed with her live streams. I don't know if she has a YouTube channel or not, but now I have something to Google, and I've had a real rough week, so I am more than ready to react and just get my mind off of things right now. And for those who don't know or are new here, hello! My name is Cassandra Bankson. I'm an expert and have been in the industry for over 10 years, and I've personally suffered with acne for over 15. I'm a medical esthetician, and although I've worked alongside and with doctors and dermatologists, I am not a physician myself. That being said, I love analyzing, scrutinizing, and learning from other people's skincare routines, and I am so excited because I don't think I've ever seen her share a skincare routine before. I listen to her pillow talks and her live streams, and I like all of her posts. I know her thoughts on Botox, but I do not know her skincare routine. So let's press play.
I am Dr. Shereene Idriss, a cosmetic dermatologist, and I'm going to walk you through my nighttime skincare routine. So why don't you grab your toothbrush so we can go to bed together, because if you don't brush your teeth, I'm not going to bed with you. I am not wearing as much makeup as I used to wear because of the whole mask situation, but I do wear sunscreen every day. I draw in my brows. These are illusions, they're not real. And I wear mascara and a little bit of under eye concealer. So that being said, I always start off by taking off my makeup, followed by a cleanser. Now, if I'm only wearing sunscreen and no makeup, I actually skip the Bioderma part and I just cleanse twice. And I'll show you guys what I use. But I soak up a cotton pad and I start with my eyebrows, which always make me sad because they really do frame a face.
She is a derm, but does she double cleanse? Based on what she's talking about, it sounds like she does. And again, if you're wearing heavy makeup or if you're wearing sunscreen, which you should be, you really do have to remove that at the end of the day, and the double cleanse is the best way to do that.
And you guys, please get rid of the makeup wipes. The only time you should ever use a makeup wipe is pretty much never, unless you are tipsy and you don't have the energy to make it to the bathroom. Maybe keep an extra stash as an emergency next to your bed. Or if you are on a plane and you really want to get rid of the makeup so it's not sitting on your face or your eyes, but it's not really getting rid of it, just FYI, it's just smooshing it around. So
preach! Oh my god, thank you! Makeup wipes do not clean your skin. They are for emergencies only, or as she said, if you are tipsy or on a plane. Thank you! Also, something that a lot of people are probably going to point out, she's really kind of rubbing and tugging at her eyes. It's true that while this isn't ideal based on maybe wrinkling or retinal detachment, it's not actually horrible, and I love to see a dermatologist, you know, treating their face normally, which some people see as aggressive, because our face has collagen and elastin and it does slap back. It's probably not a good idea to I just slapped myself, but it's not a good idea to slap yourself or to aggressively rub or tug at your eyes, your eyelashes, but her face still looks great, so
now that I've gotten rid of my eyebrows and my eyelashes, and you guys can see the under eye bags from my toddlers that I have, I like this one by Vanny Cream. It is the cheapest, most gentle cleanser you can find. Now, when I use only sunscreen and no makeup, I will wash my face, like I said, twice in order to get all of that sunscreen off. And I use lukewarm water, nothing too hot at all. And you don't have to heat the product in your hand like all these people say you do. Just get it on your face.
You don't have to heat the product in your hand, but you do have to turn off the water. Ugh, I'm just cringing when I hear the water running. It's a pet peeve of mine, and I know it. Vanny Cream is recommended by many derms, and like she said, it is fragrance-free, it is gentle, it is very inexpensive. I'm super sad that there aren't more fragrance-free, inexpensive, and cruelty-free brands. That's something that really personally bothers me and that I've had my idealistic issues with. So I don't love this product. There are other gentle cleansers out there that work just as well. However, it is highly derm recommended. Her face obviously looks good. It gets rid of the makeup for her, and it is inexpensive, and you get a big tub of it. So along with the Bioderma, it's probably removing her makeup very well. The Bioderma is a micellar water, so it really does kind of break down and remove makeup, and this would cleanse everything off nicely. So at least she's working with a good, clean canvas.
And the true test comes when I dry my face. Now that I've made a watery mess, I had my eyelashes still. Once we take our makeup off and we've washed our face, we exfoliate. However, listen to me and listen to me well, okay? Turn off the music. You guys are way over exfoliating. I don't know who's discovered that this is like the best thing since sliced bread, but I'm telling you guys to exfoliate like 20 times a day. But I have a lot of patients coming in with really red inflamed skin, and their skin barrier is completely disrupted. And so if you're gonna exfoliate, less is more, 2 to maybe 4-ish times a week, depending on the type of exfoliation that you're using and the acids that you're using.
This is so true. We live in an over-exfoliation nation, and there are so many different products and procedures that exfoliate. And while it is great for your fence, she mentioned the skin barrier. Think of your skin as like a fence. If all of those pieces are lined up nicely, things can't get in or out. But if it's an old rickety fence, you know, vines can get through, animals or people can get through. All sorts of stuff can permeate that barrier, and that's kind of what's happening to your face. Your face is meant to keep you and your body in and keep viruses and bacteria, dirt and pathogens out to keep you healthy and safe. But if your skin barrier is disrupted, more things can get in and out and cause irritation. And acids and exfoliators and exfoliating scrubs and devices, etc., those can weaken the barrier of your skin, and kind of like taking a hammer to or kicking down, you know, the slats or those panels of that fence. That is basically what over exfoliation is doing. So don't over exfoliate. We've done a whole video on how to take care of your skin barrier, and yeah. Please use products that are formulated for your skin type. Make sure that you are gentle to your skin, and, you know, enjoy exfoliation in moderation.
But I'm going to show you guys today a lighter version of exfoliating because I'm going to use a prescription strength retinoid. Do not do this yourselves at home if you are not somebody who's used to using retinoids, because it will make your skin extremely inflamed and irritated. So stick to the acids on one night and to the retinols or retinoids on the other night, unless you are a seasoned retinoid user, and then you can kind of mix them together and you know your skin.
Retinoic acid, our good friend that definitely has like an induction phase that you need to pay attention to. A lot of people can get redness, drying, stinging, irritation, especially with prescription strength retinoids, which is retinoic acid is probably what she's going to use because she's a derm and she has access to it. It really is the gold standard. If you are using other retinoids over the counter, such as retinol, that is a less potent version that your skin then has to convert. You could also use something like HPR, hydroxypinocolone retinoate, which are less intense. Either of these would be more gentle, but remember that if you are using a retinoid in your routine as well as an acid, you are mixing your actives, and there is a high chance that things could go wrong. So let's see exactly what she recommends for kind of mixing these or using them on alternate days or buffering them with things like moisturizers. There are ways to get around it and there are ways to build up, but you know, you should see a dermatologist, a medical esthetician, an esthetician, or someone who can actually guide you into how to do this properly. Because if things go bad, you know, you could get dry, flaky, irritated skin, or at worst, you could burn off your face.
So this is not for beginners, but I'm going to show you guys a beginner's exfoliation, and it is this one by L'Oreal, the Revitalift 10% glycolic acid. I hate that it comes in a dropper. No, I didn't design the packaging, but I do love the playtime that this product has. And when you are exfoliating, I'll tell you from here to your tatas, okay? Because this is a unit. You may not see it in your teens, you may not notice it in your 20s. You might kind of believe me in your 30s, but by the time you hit your 40s, you will thank me for taking care of the skin next to your tatas. So that is how I exfoliate. And did you guys just see how much coverage I got from that glycolic acid? I like it because it's 10%. I also like glycolic acid because it helps with pigmentation, and that is one of my biggest issues.
Glycolic is fantastic. It's an AHA acid, which, like she said, can help with exfoliation, it can help with pigmentation, it can help with brightening of the skin. If you are someone who has hyperpigmentation, there are other ingredients that you could look for that actually treat hyperpigmentation a little bit better. If you're looking at a prescription, those could be things like hydroquinone. You could get tyrosinase inhibitors, and then, you know, some gentler stuff. Again, these AHA acids, even vitamin C has a little bit of brightening properties. Overall, this product is formulated well at $30. It's pretty basic. It does have alcohol, so it penetrates pretty deep into the skin because the alcohol helps to evaporate off, and that's what's giving it this slip that she's talking about. This is not a cruelty-free brand, so overall it's not my favorite. There are other glycolic acid serums, toners, or treatments that I would personally prefer, but if this one works for her, I am happy about it, and I'm very happy that she is recommending everyone take things down to their tatas, because in YouTube videos, you don't see us do that because, like, we don't want to flash the camera, and while I can't speak for other people, I can speak for myself, but usually when I'm doing my skincare routine, I'm naked. I'm in my birthday suit so that I can get things, you know, everywhere that my skin is exposed to the sun or damage. you know, skincare is self-care, and that extends, you know, beyond my jawline.
Now, once a week or so, I will not give up on my tried and true biologique recherche. Do not use if you're pregnant or attempting to get pregnant or breastfeeding. You can use glycolic acid. So I had to give up on biologique for a while I had my babies.
I'm not super familiar with this product, but when we look at it, it actually has a lot of beneficial AHA and BHA acids. It has lactic acid, we've got malic acid, we've got salicylic acid, we have some different root extracts in there. We do have phenoxyethanol as a preservative, and it doesn't actually say the price on the website. It says add to wish list. They must be sold out. Overall, it doesn't look half bad, and again, as long as you're not pregnant or breastfeeding, and as long as you're not over exfoliating your skin, this is a halfway decent product.
I'm not a huge toner fan. However, for your purposes today, and because I'm originally Lebanese, I want to show you guys this rose water that I bought from the local ethnic store. First of all, it's 10 ounces, and I bought it from an ethnic store in New York City, so it's $4.99. But in the suburbs, I bet you this is $2.75, and if I were on the prices right, I bet you I would win. So rose water is a personal fave. I guess I learned this from my grandmother, not to sound cliche, but I really did. And the reason I like it is because with the mask usage, I have rosacea. It gets really red and inflamed around here. And so at night, I just dab a little bit of rose water, kind of in the areas that the mask hits, where I have the most redness, it's the cotton pad, and inflammation, okay? So that's sort of what I do.
I actually love that she's bringing up rose water. I know that a lot of my favorite YouTubers, such as Hiram and Dr. Dre, hate rose water or rose essences or things like that. I think it's important to note that rose essential oil is different from rose extract, which is different than rose water. All of them can have potential negative effects, and some of them can have potential positive effects. I wonder if this is a sensorial experience for her as well. But again, if you're not sensitive to plant compounds or to fragrances, I don't think that these are horrible things to use. It really depends on how they're formulated and your skin type. She even mentioned she uses this over rosacea. Rosacea is a condition that can have a lot of different triggers, and knowing your triggers is really important. You can use things like azelaic acid to try to stop or try to buffer some of that irritation, and a nice cool compress such as this rose water is another great way to kind of deal with that as well. So I love that she brings that up, and I also love that as a dermatologist, she's doing something that a lot of people are afraid of, because I think it goes to show that everybody's skin is different, and it's hard to say that certain ingredients are bad because it really does depend on the formula, on the stabilization, and all of the other things that are not only going into a product, but going into a skincare routine.
So once I've dabbed the rose water off, I then apply my serums. Now, ding ding ding, side note, if you are an eye cream, this is also where you want to use your eye cream. I use eye creams more in the winter, not so much in the summer, but tonight I'm going to put a little bit of Vaseline under my eyes because I want to show you how I use the Vaseline under my eyes with a prescription strength retinoid. So I will let that sit for a minute or two.
So what she's doing right now is an advanced move. She is putting, or going to put, a retinoid underneath her eye area, which retinol and retinoids are not always eye safe. This is a dermatologist, and this is a very dermatologist move. Also, I love what she brings up about eye creams, because I think eye creams are crap. Yes, you can use an eye cream, but if it's good here, it's good all over the face. And you could also just take a moisturizer and put it up here. There are very few instances in which you would want to pay extra or pay more for an eye cream. And if you'd like a video on that, we can discuss it. And if you're confused as to why this topic pisses me off so much, we've done a whole video on why eye creams are a waste of money. Click this and open it in a new tab, but also look at what she's using. Her eye cream is Vaseline. Vaseline. If you smeared this all over your face, it would be a technique called slugging. And remember, what's good for the face is also good for the under eye area. And if you want a different texture on your whole face versus your under eye, we can talk about that in the future. But eye creams are notoriously overpriced, tiny little bottles that people charge you extra for. So I love that she's bringing this up, and I love that she's using eye cream and a retinoid to make her own eye cream. Remember, dermatologist. So this is a definite advanced move that not everybody should be trying at home, but ask your practitioner, ask your derm, ask your healthcare providers, and see how you could incorporate this into your routine if you truly wanted to.
The serums that I'm using are Discoloration Defense, which has tranexamic acid.
This tranexamic acid is actually really special. Yes, it's used here in skincare. You can also find it as TXA, but it's actually used in emergency medicine to stop major bleeding, specifically if someone is hemorrhaging internally or basically bleeding out internally. It can be used for more minor things as well. In emergency medicine, it's usually given IV, but you can also take it orally. However, when it is put in skincare, it actually does some very different things. It's specifically good for pigmentation, like she said, that's the main use, but it can also be used for a little bit of help with acne scars. Of course, the redness or the pigmentation that's left behind after acne. And overall, it's generally well tolerated. This one from SkinCeuticals is not cruelty-free. SkinCeuticals is also known for being ridiculously expensive. I know that there are some products you can get from the Inky list for much less expensive. There are some other cruelty-free ones out there at different price points too. But overall, it is a great ingredient that, again, has been used in medicine for years, but we're just starting to see a little bit more of in skincare. And it is a really, really good one.
And tranexamic acid, again, another dropper. Why do you guys all want to be chemists? Okay, just go to a lab. Is a great product to help with melasma, and that's also when my pigmentation got worse. So I will focus it on the tops of my cheeks, because it really got worse here with my son.
What she's talking about is known as a pregnancy mask or a melasma mask. Obviously, when the body goes through pregnancy, there are a lot of hormonal changes that happen. And because our skin is partly regulated by our hormones and our body is one continual system in which different pieces and organ systems are all working together beautifully in the machinery that makes up you, things can go wrong. Things that impact one part of the system can impact others. And this melasma mask or pregnancy mask is something that for many people is a normal occurrence. Sometimes it reverses, sometimes it doesn't, but there are products and treatments and procedures that can be used to kind of help out with that. And this is one of them.
And then I use this one by Murad, which has 2% hydroquinone. Again, another controversial ingredient. I use the over-the-counter hydroquinone in the summer because it will make you more sun sensitive. In the wintertime, I'll go ahead and use prescription strength hydroquinone because, again, I'm not scared of it. Do I use it all year round, all the time? No, I take breaks. So I use it for like a month on, then I'll probably take, a month off, and vice versa, depending on how my skin is reacting. So learn your skin is the point of that.
The reason hydroquinone is so controversial is because of potential hepatic issues or liver issues. Again, hydroquinone is available over the counter, which you can get in under 2%, but if you get it higher than that, you would have to see a dermatologist. It is great and life-changing for some people, and for others, as with any other medication, they should not use it just because of potential side effects or, their skin and their history with certain products in the past. The other huge issue with hydroquinone is that there is an illegal market for it. Specifically, it's used in an unhealthy manner for skin bleaching, which is not only disgusting, but it's harmful both emotionally and physically to those who are told they need it or those who go ahead and do that. But this counterfeit hydroquinone can be laced with mercury, which is obviously extraordinarily deadly and should not be absorbed transdermally or through skin. So don't buy the fake stuff, and even when it comes to the real stuff, speak to an expert who can actually guide you through that.
So now that I have applied the serums and I already put my eye cream, this is where it gets interessante. I use retinoids. So tretinoin 0.05%, it's prescription. A little bit goes a very long way. And this tiny little poop, 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 bing, boop, boop, and then I have a tiny bit left. I dab it under my eyes on top of the Vaseline because the Vaseline is gonna act like a barrier to minimize how effective it's gonna be under the eyes, but it's not gonna completely block it. So it's gonna help at least with the fine lines around the eyes. Do you need a special fancy eye cream? No, you don't. If you're prone to milia, I would be careful with the Vaseline, but if you're not, it's perfecto. And then because I said don't forget about this area, here's a little trick. So on the nights that I don't use the prescription retinoid, I use retinol, and this is one by, again, L'Oreal, it's 0.3%. Another dropper. So I take the L'Oreal retinol, put it in my palm, and then I dilute it with Aved Hydrance Intense Hydrating Serum because you can't really tolerate it so much on the neck, but when you dilute it, first of all, you have a lot more coverage, but your neck will tolerate it.
what she's doing is actually buffering this retinoid. Again, when you're diluting it with those other products, you're kind of shearing it out. And it is true, especially for people who are starting. This is a great way to start. It's a way to go gentle and then kind of build up in time. This L'Oreal one does have a good formula. It's a little bit expensive for L'Oreal at like $40. I can find retinoids that are less expensive that I would argue are better, especially because being cruelty-free, they would match my morals and values a bit better. However, this one has a lot of oil in it. You see vitamin A is oil soluble, vitamin A in the retinoid family. So it makes sense that this goes onto the skin nice. She is buffering and mixing it with this Avene Hydrance Intense Rehydrating Serum. This is a fairly decent serum. There's nothing horrible about this. There's nothing revolutionary either, but it's a good basic one. I don't think Avene is cruelty-free, but they also state that they don't test on animals, so I don't know how that works. But yeah, that's what she's doing to make sure that she is not getting irritation to this area.
Because who wants a chicken neck? Okay, and I don't have the best jawline to begin with, so I really want to make sure I fight my genetics, fight my genetics, fight my genetics. So that is that. And then finalement, we end it with the Muchissimo Dinero one, which honestly is very expensive. I know, but quarantine sucks. And if something's going to give me a little bit of a way to dream, I'm doing it. And it's Clé de Pose intensifying, I don't even know which one is it, this is the intensive fortifying emulsion. Too many, three big words is too much for me to handle. But it's an intensive fortifying emulsion. I like it because it's a very lightweight hydrating serum, but I will not use the Clé de Peau from here to here because I'm not wasting it. It's too expensive. So I use this at the very end. Yes, there's fragrance. Don't come after me. I am not scared of fragrance. Okay, when I develop that allergy and that problem, I will stop it then. Say, why am I planning my funeral before I die? Right?
Can I just say, it's so refreshing to hear a dermatologist say this. I know that fragrance is a very dividing issue, and I personally disagree with her on this product. I do not like this product. I do not recommend this product. I think it is way overpriced, but she brings up such a great point that she as a cosmetic dermatologist sees. Skincare is self-care, right? This isn't a routine, this is a ritual. So you have to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy the scent or if you don't enjoy the texture, the experience, it's really hard to stick to that routine and have long-term benefits from your skincare products. This specific one in question is $180, so it's actually not the worst. Like the La Mer is a much, much worse offender, but it's definitely not something that I think is worth the money. I mean, when you look at the main ingredients, it's kind of a joke. It's water, it's denatured alcohol that's gonna just evaporate off the face, but it gives that slip. It's got some glycerin, which is again a great ingredient, but it is very, very basic and inexpensive. And it's got dimethicone, so it has that nice soothing feel. This is like a glorified primer with a couple of extra ingredients in it that they are charging $180 for, and boiling silkworms for. Fun fact, they boil worms to get the silk out of them to put in this product, which I personally have issues with and do not agree with. There are some exotic plant extracts and some hydrolyzed protein in there, but again, nothing that I think is worth $180. This is definitely a luxury product. It's got lavender oil, it's got fragrance in there, which a lot of people like to attack people for, but I half agree with her philosophy and half don't agree with her philosophy, and I really fully don't agree with this product. But when it comes to fragrance, you know, it's the formula, it's the person's skin, and she brings up a great point with the funeral analogy, and I hope that she enjoys using her products. And I don't think we can demonize specific ingredients. However, fragrance is very controversial. Some people should definitely not use it. We've actually done a full video digging into basically what she said and why she is basically saying here that it's okay, but also what many other people have said, believed, and experienced, and why fragrance can be damaging and dangerous to some. So if you haven't seen that, this is here for you. I made this for you. Please enjoy it.
So don't be scared of fragrance. And that is it. And now I'm ready to go to bed. So did you brush your teeth? Because if you did, you can join me.
You see, I'd much rather her spend that $160, $180 on a skincare fridge rather than an overpriced serum, because the skincare fridge is going to last longer and arguably have more benefits and more long-term benefits or potential benefits. Spoon under the eyes is a great idea, especially if you are dealing with puffiness. This is fantastic. It's easily accessible. Alcohol is not good for your skin. Like she mentioned with the pillow spray and even with other things, you have to enjoy your life and enjoy your routine to a certain extent. You know, it's not just about being perfect and doing things right. It's about enjoying yourself and being happy. Whew. But take some deep breaths. This was a nice refresher, and if you would like to learn a bit more about fragrance, you really can't miss that video right here. Overall, please remember to be beautiful inside and out. Go check out the original video, which I will link right here. And if you want to learn more about these ingredients, I've also listed some of my videos, some references and resources for you below. Overall, please remember to be beautiful inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.